Hello and good morning. Now, they say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And that's exactly what we're doing right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, well, technically, I'm still the new kid on the block, but this has been one of the best journeys I've ever had when I'm not exploring Nigeria, of course, all pun intended. And it's only just the beginning, of course, of amazing things to come. So I ask that you guys stay tuned, and it's going to get great.
It is great, exciting times
Yes,
we
indeed.
have ahead. And we have a very well curated show just specially put together for your viewing pleasure. Our darling Mary with that beautiful brown, it's like a burnt orange dress, right?
Oh, yes.
Is that burnt orange?
It is beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like burnt orange. And I'm really liking the color combo between you guys. I'm like, did you guys plan it?
Yeah, well,
there's a midnight blue thing going on.
we try.
I didn't get the memo though. But hey, it's good to stand out, you know.
And that is a really great color on you, by the way.
Thank you.
We have quite a show ahead of you. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I am Mazino Appeal. Let's have a good time together. Remember, we are streaming live right now at tvcentertainment.tv and also on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Also, you can send in your comments, whatever they may be, maybe prayer message, you know, comment on our outfits, whatever it is, we'd love to see it. We can only see it if you use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria.
Yes, and remember, our app remains available for download on Android and iOS store to watch us on your mobile devices from anywhere in the world.
So, once you have that, maybe you might still miss the show. So you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's on TVC Entertainment, so you can catch up, so to speak. You can just click that notification button, subscribe, and you'll always get alerts whenever we post something new. Not to talk of something new, it's kind of still new and fresh in our minds. We've started doing something at 2:30 p.m. on Fridays.
Yes.
It's called Wake Up Nigeria Extra.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So, the show seems like it's off to a great start. Good, positive, and inspiring words are going to come your way next from Chude Jidonwo. Coming up shortly is Daily Vulnerables.
Black people have biases. White people have biases. Women, men. Our biases come from our experiences and our environment. It means, I think that the shortcut to understand bias is, how do you see? How do you see and what do you see? And what do you
Dr. Larry Olaitonwa is an emergency medicine doctor based in Manchester. He has a Bachelor of Medicine, and he's going to be talking to us quite a bit today. He's from the University of Bristol, and when it comes to erectile dysfunction, he has some advice for the gentlemen out there.
Adesumbo Adeoye is a multi-passionate entrepreneur. She is the CEO and Chief Director at ESUB Events and founder of ESUB Heroes. She recently authored and published a self-guide book titled Parenting a Creative Child, and she'll be shedding more light on that on parenting today.
And finally, we have multi-talented Nigerian actor, movie producer, and MC, someone well known for his comic and action-packed roles in movies, Tobiloba Abraham. What was that?
I don't
what
know.
was that?
You have to translate for me.
I don't know. It was a mixture between...
Why are you looking like you wanted to ask me to translate?
No, I wasn't going to ask her.
So then
I said
no,
it
the way she
looked like a
told.
mixture
So like,
between Igbo and Yoruba somewhere. Yeah.
The what they call it now? Ike. What's it?
The
Igbo
So I
hat.
was
And
speaking
then
Yoruba
I was hearing Yoruba.
Igbo accent,
So
yeah.
okay, I was speaking Yoruba
With the
with
Igbo
Igbo
accent,
accent.
yeah.
How does that work?
Okay.
He was
few
actually
people can do
saying
that.
stuff in Yoruba, but with that very strong Igbo accent. So it's just like an average Igbo person wants to speak, especially someone that actually knows Yoruba. The person will probably go, Moniki is oh, there wa. There's a way they speak. That,
Sounds the same to me.
Oh, well.
You would
So there's
notice
something, so in school, when you study English, there's something called Nigerian English.
Yes.
So there's a way people from different parts of the country pronounce their words based on their dialect. So the way the tongue moves is just different. So no matter how hard they try, unless they maybe grew up in that region, it's really hard for many, well, people from the East to pronounce some Yoruba words.
There's even the likelihood to put in your own kind of way of speaking it. And that's why you'd see all over the world, for example, in French language, you have Francophone French. Even the Portuguese, you have Brazilian Portuguese,
So
you have the Portuguese, because everyone has their way of speaking it, different ways, different accents and all.
But
Guys.
it all sounds like Greek to me sometimes.
And people think that accent is a measure of intelligence.
Oh, please.
No.
Please.
So, so that's why somebody will go to Dubai and spend 2 weeks and come back.
Back with an accent. No, the accent actually,
I need some butter.
it starts at the airport in Nigeria on their way out.
Can you pass me some water? Some water.
Guys, listen, yeah. I had an exciting time yesterday, especially even after the show.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. I was, for the first time, scared of social media yesterday.
Really?
I didn't get on social media until sometime 11 o'clock in the evening because the overwhelming attention was too much.
Like, you've never had that
I've never had that kind of attention before. A lot of people followed, a lot of people also sent in messages, congratulations and all of that. And it was just, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay away from it for a minute. And then when I jumped on it, I had to start responding to a lot of messages in it. Thank you guys. I can't say that enough. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
I like that.
It's a lot of pressure for some people that are not used to it, you know. Like Mike has a lot of...
Look at his face.
You see, I love you, Mike. The Mike too, he said, love you back.
They
I
come
said,
back to
I was wondering,
backyard.
no, this is Mazino. What I wanted to mention was, you made a decision to log out for a while, not to, and that's something that many people don't know how to
I'm
do.
very deliberate about social media, actually.
Why? Why so? I just
Because
want to
it has
understand
the
why.
potential to, you know, overtake your priorities. And if you let that happen, then it becomes a nuisance instead of a tool. So I like to use it as a tool for many reasons, for television, for other businesses and stuff like that, and also to showcase my personality. So if you have that in mind, then you can absolutely channel whatever content you want to put on there.
Yeah.
But if you
totally
let
agree.
it become a benchmark for you, then it becomes a problem. So a lot of people look at people on social media thinking, that's where I'm going, that's where I want to be. Not saying you shouldn't have goals and aspirations, but sometimes a lot of this stuff is fake.
In moderation.
reality check. Most things on social media are fake. And I'm talking about almost everything. Celebrities, even the so-called rich folks. Believe me, most of them are fake. You're doing well. I keep telling people, you are doing well. Don't let
Something
anybody
that is
intimidate
real,
you.
though, is the news updates. And Mary is taking that one.
All right. Okay, so we'll start off with the Ogun State government, which has cancelled all forms of payment for COVID-19 tests for students returning for exit classes in boarding schools. In a statement, Governor Dapo Abiodun said the test is now free and no longer mandatory for reopening of schools due to the limited testing capacity. He noted that a refund will be made for those who have paid, and the government will provide face masks to all students in private and public schools. The governor also revealed that the admittance of students into private boarding schools will be at the discretion of the management and parents, though he recommended that it is preferable for students to attend classes from home, especially those with underlying health conditions. To Zamfara now, where the state government says all is set for the reopening of schools for students in exit classes. Commissioner for Education Ibrahim Abdullahi stated this while briefing newsmen in Gusau. Theophilus Darufai has details.
Public and private schools across the country have been closed for about 4 months to contain the spread of the dreaded coronavirus. The Zamfara state government has confirmed its readiness to comply with the federal government's directives for schools to reopen. The State Minister of Education says all is set for the reopening of schools come Tuesday, the 4th of August 2020.
The reopening targeted only the exit class. It means the bulk of the population of the student will not be in the schools. So that has also given us some level of confidence. Every classroom, every hostel accommodation in the schools will be fumigated first.
The Commissioner for Education in the state assures that all COVID-19 protocols will be adhered to in all schools.
We have recruited some very resourceful persons, and we have given them the technical protocols. We have procured a lot of chemicals.
The Zamfara government also reiterates its commitment to encouraging girl child enrollment in Western education. The Zamfara state government is determined that every child in the state is enrolled in school, as education is the panacea to poverty eradication and insecurity. Theophilus Darufai, TVC News, Gusau.
Now, the harsh reality of COVID-19 has forced many companies in Nigeria into retrenchment, with many businesses closing due to the inability to meet up with staff salaries. Air Peace has laid off 70 of its pilots across its fleets and reduced staff salaries by 40%. While an agreement was reached and accepted by the pilots, they have accused the company of trying to sack staff through illegal processes. The pilots had protested a major pay cut after a negotiation fell through with the management. But Air Peace CEO Allen Onyema says a series of emails were sent to the pilots on this decision. He explained that the company has had lesser flight operations as a result of the pandemic and says he expected the pilots to understand the situation. Still on airspace now, more reactions have continued to trail the abduction and killing of a staff on the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, in Haipangbak Ladi local government area of Plateau State on Friday, August the 1st. It is still a sorrowful mood at the residence of Mr. Oswald Ngwa, who was kidnapped and killed after a ransom of 200,000 naira was paid to his abductors. TVC News gathered that management staff of NAMA and top-ranking officers of the Nigerian Air Force earlier on paid a condolence visit to the deceased residents and assured that all is being done to ensure that the killers are found and prosecuted. The Air Force Authority again promised to set up a security outpost around the residential quarters of NAMA to prevent future occurrences of such. The police spokesman in the state also affirmed to TVC News that the police is relentless in their efforts to ensure that perpetrators of the heinous act are arrested and brought to book soon. Moving to Asia now, where Asia's gasoline refining margins nearly burned up in July, dropping to just above zero in the worst profits performance for refined fuels over the month, as a new wave of coronavirus infections walloped demand recovery and swelled supplies. Gasoline had staged a stunning comeback in June as some economies started to reopen, with its margins in Asia returning to premiums against crude oil from steep discounts in April and May. By end July, though, Asian petrol premiums to Brent had dropped to 4 cents a barrel from $2.37 on July 1. Margins for benchmark 10 parts per million gas oil rose 2 cents to $6.86 over the same period. Unlike gas oil or diesel, typically used for the transport of manufacturing and farming goods and other industrial activity, gasoline's main function is to power cars. Now, this makes it vulnerable when lockdown measures cripple demand. Other fuels also fared better over July, with the discounts for very low sulfur fuel oil narrowing and jet fuel and naphtha margins falling 35% and 26.5% respectively. And that's it on the news updates for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria. We will take a break and return with the sports news. Stay with us.
All right, it's about time for us to take a quick look at the headlines in the dailies. We have the Punch newspaper starting us off.
All right, so let me start with the Punch. Today, Tuesday, August 4th, 2020. Publish loan details of face legal action, NLC, TUC, others tell the federal government. And right under there, Nigerians facing harsh economic difficulties despite high accumulated debt, labor and others. And also APC, PDP trade words, over $2.4 billion Chinese loans, failed $400 million Abuja CCTV project. A few other stories here for the headlines. Kalu Uduaga Ibori disagree with Akpabio over alleged NDDC contract. And Ogu Buckles reverses private students 25,000 naira COVID-19 fee. At the top, there's other very interesting stories here. NDDC, or rather NCDC, tracking 11,000 COVID-19 contracts nationwide. And also resumption stay-at-home, FG tells students with cough and other symptoms. That's a very reasonable advice to give, especially as they're looking to reopen schools. And don't let FIRS kill, bury NIPOST. Postal Service chairman cries out. That's from the Punch newspaper this morning.
I have the Guardian newspaper with me now, and it says here Nigeria misses out on COVID-19 vaccine trials. Only South Africa, Egypt participating in project. Experts fear phobia may scuttle efforts. Now, the story starts there on the cover and wraps up on page 6. NUT PTF expresses fear as schools reopen today. Teachers vow to withdraw services if not protected. Schools, parents, students excited, ready for resumption, apparently. Now, this story hit the social media circles yesterday. Why Shoprite is quitting Nigeria's retail market. Now, that is a huge story right there. And I think we should talk about that one maybe later on. Airline sacks 75 pilots over financial constraints. Kaduna Christians threaten to defend selves. And finally, Senate reports says NDDC spent 4.9 billion naira on medical checkups. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, now, so taking a look at the Nigerian Tribune, the major headline here says, as schools reopen today, FG orders returning students to undergo temperature check, begins decontamination of Unity schools. Ogo makes COVID-19 test free for boarding students. Delta allows only 20 students in class, reasonable. Kwara distributes face masks. And also on the front page here, PTF, INEC in talks on measures to stem COVID-19 at elections. And Ondo gubernatorial rally rounds up. Jegede PDP group tells NWC. Edo gubernatorials, we never endorsed Obaseki, Ize Iyamu family declares. And Nigerians' debt stock rises to 30 trillion naira, actually. At the top, we've got a couple other stories you can find inside the papers here. Oyetola, Tinubu, Akintoye, others pay tributes to Fasami at commendation service. And attack on Zulum shows we are all vulnerable, says the governors. And from the WHO, COVID-19 vaccines now in phase 3 clinical trials. I think that's good news.
Yeah, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. We have the Vanguard newspaper up next. NDDC contracts. Ibori, Kalu, Uduaha confront Akpabio. Akpabio, calm down. I took no contracts from NDDC, says Ibori. His allegations false, according to Uduaha. Issues at stake in NDDC about missing funds, not jobs done, says Kalu. Moving to the top of the paper here, it says, Edo, we'll meet violence with violence, says Oshomole. Lying on TV won't save him, Obaseki's aide says there. Issa Funtua, pillar of support to my government, says Buhari. And insecurity worsening rapidly, according to the governors. Moving to the photo story here. Commendation service for late Pa Fasomi. And then it says here, no loans clause ceding Nigeria's sovereignty to China, says Chinese Foreign Ministry. I'll wrap with this one. Schools resume. Ogun U-turns on 25,000 naira, or rather 25,000 naira COVID-19 test charge. And that's what we have on the cover of the Guard, or rather the Vanguard. And I don't think we have enough time for that one, do we? Yeah, we'll probably take that in the second hour.
Definitely, so look out for that one. Absolutely. Got more coming up for you here. Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mezino Appeal and Titi, of course.
Yeah, we'll be back after this quick break.
Let's take a look at what traffic is like in Lagos. Of course, you can tweet to us. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC at TVC Connect in case you want to send reports. All right. So it's quite very free this morning. If you're heading from the mainland to the island now, it will take you across. Of course, heading to the island now. Third mainland bridge is open. So on the way to the island up until 12 noon, 1 p.m. and then they close it for the other way. So on the return from the island to the mainland is open from then up until later on at night. So if you're heading to the island now, the third mainland bridge is open. It'll take you just about, I mean, heading all the way to Ajah, you do that in just less than an hour, 10 minutes. That is very fast time. So if you're heading from, say, Tollgate, as though you're coming from Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, heading up onto Uwuru, and then, of course, onto the third mainland bridge, it's quite a very, very free ride. The return journey, of course, you have to find a detour. It might either have to be Oyibo or you take a corridor road. Right? If let's look at the return journey now. Now, the return journey, okay. Now, the map here would not show you that third mainland bridge is closed because it's done at different times. Now, normally, if a road is closed, it gives it. You can, update that it's closed and then it's closed for a while. But since it is a partial closure, it's open and closed at different times. It's kind of going to be hard to update that steadily or regularly on the map. So if you check up your map now, it might show you that it's a freeway across the mainland bridge coming from the island. But no, you'll be unable to head from the island to the mainland at this point up until past 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Right? So please take note of that one. You'd have to use the corridor road, right? You have to use the corridor road. Now, if you're heading from, if you're going via corridor road, it's kind of free, right? It's kind of free up until, of course, Maryland under the tunnel. Now, there's a point of that road that's spoiled. Over the tunnel, it's closed, so you can't go over the tunnel. That's over Independence Tunnel at Maryland. You can't go over the tunnel as though you're heading to the island. You'd have to go under the tunnel, and then, of course, that road is not so good. So there's a bit of slow movement there once you get under Independence Tunnel at Maryland. Up until you get to Anthony, that's where you get your next little bit pocket of traffic. After Anthony, you head up until Jibowu. Yeah, Jibowu, that's the next place that you get traffic. And then, of course, Echo Bridge, it's kind of busy there up until you get to Marina. At this point, it's kind of busy now. People are trying to head, of course, on different routes heading to the island, right? So I'll check out other routes and let's see what we can glean on social media.
Yeah. So far, I have been unable to find anything regarding traffic reports on social media. Looks like many people aren't sharing. However, a couple of stuff I saw. This one says if you're heading towards Agege Ogba, there is a slight traffic on the road due to the diversion from Church bus stop, and it has reached Fagba. So the person was actually calling on LASMA to support their sister agency to ease the traffic. When traffic occurs at that's Fagba Ogba access is always really bad. Someone here talking about something that happened on Oshodi area.
Okay.
But, yeah, do you have any?
I think I have something here. It's from 20 minutes ago, though. Someone says, too many leaders at this beggar BRT park. Help, but it says also here, we have been here for over 30 minutes. No ticket, no one to talk to us. So someone's trying to get bus and nothing's happening. We tried to be here before 6 a.m. and apparently there's no one there to attend to them. Yeah.
By the way, just in case you're heading towards the third mainland bridge, which is open up until 12 p.m., note that just at the Bagada area, the road has further been streamlined, so it's going to be very difficult for you. Leave early is my advice.
All right. So let's round up with this. You mentioned Fagba, so I just checked out Fagba to Ikeja General Hospital, and it's really terrible. If you're going to use a Abeokuta Expressway, avoid that place. If you have to use it, you're going to spend exactly over an hour, 30 minutes from Fagba to Ikeja. But if you're going to go via Iju Road, you spend just about 42 minutes. So make your choice. It's really, at this point in time, there's quite heavy traffic, okay? So I'm done here with the traffic. Let's go check out what's up and about.
Okay, so what's up for me today is it's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday, Mama!
I'm actually very excited about this. Aww. My mom is my best friend. And growing up, when people talk about mentors, for me, my mentor has always been my mom. I admire her in more ways than I can express. She's an embodiment of strength. She's actually a nurse. I considered being a nurse because of her. But then the first time I saw an open wound, I didn't need to be told twice to change my mind. That's how much I admire my mom. She's a fantastic woman.
Happy birthday, Mama.
That's noise you. I'm going to be medical doctor. You just see blood and pay. That's where it ends over for them. Some people just freak out at the sight of blood.
It's amazing how many people wanted to go into the medical field. I think that's the influence from our parents always wanting their kids to be doctors or engineers and stuff like that.
Lucky for me, my parents didn't put that pressure on any of us. You could just do whatever you want to do. Just make sure you go to school and get a degree. That was the condition.
Dr. Appeal.
Dr. Appeal.
You know, for your parents, just
Dr. Appeal. That sounds like a TV doctor kind of
that would have been really nice. Speak to Dr. Appeal. Is the TV doctor, gives solution to all your problems.
I saw this family, right? The pictures trended at different times. The father and the mother, senior advocates, and then five lawyers.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, would they all have wanted to be? Were they given a choice?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
That's true.
Were they given a choice? Question. Because I see 7 lawyers in the family. I was like, if they find trouble, go. Were they given a choice?
Well, some might just be because of their parents. You're going to say something. I'll go on.
I wanted to say, all this attention on kids and schools, and we have, coming from off of the dailies now, the attention of kids going back to school amidst the whole COVID-19 instance going on. What are your concerns about it, you guys?
Okay, so personally, I do not want children going back to school.
Oh, okay.
However, practically, life has to go on. Yeah. Unfortunately. Now, I'm kind of like preparing my mindset that it's either parents do the hard way of letting their children know. In fact, don't even sugarcoat it at all. You know, our parents say, don't worry, you just need to be careful. Tell them, see, if you do this, you're just going to die. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, because children are actually scared of death. And I think when you make it like, you hit it hard on them, they will take it more seriously. Because there are so many people still living life like nothing is going on.
I mean, with all that panic, them carrying that on their shoulders, I'm going to die today.
So not that way.
My issue for kids is they forget, their attention span is
very short.
Very short. So it'll be like you're going to have to give those reminders every day. There's nothing in the morning. Before they go, as soon as they come back, you ask them, you're going to have to, you know, if possible, call the teacher like twice in the day. Just put some extra pressure on the teacher too to make sure that these kids are in line, because the kids have been running free. Almost no real supervision, because parents get tired after about a month of being at home. They got tired. They were like, you know what, just
do whatever you want to do. And it's an appeal to the teachers as well. Please take this as a personal responsibility to help the children protect themselves. Here at TVC, we have COVID-19 marshals. If you're staying too close to the next person, or you guys are not, you know, wearing face masks or stuff, there's always a member of staff assigned to say, what are you doing? Please. But we need to have that in schools as well. Children like responsibilities. So just take like maybe like a class of 20. 4 of them should be COVID-19 marshals. So when 2 people
that is such a great idea. So you could have like prefects in each class in charge of keeping people in line. They can only really police themselves as kids.
Children police themselves better than you can as an adult.
That's a really great idea.
Let me segue from that into the fact that, Mike, do you have kids?
No, I don't.
That you know of?
That I know, exactly.
You don't know that's on my tongue, right?
Your wisdom is on you.
I like that.
In any case, if you do,
or maybe not biological, but I do.
Okay, cool.
Not, but I know.
You would notice the attention that we have put on our kids on social media lately. They've been at home with us. Everybody has one picture or the other of their kids at home with them. I've got a ton of them. And what we don't know are the implications that this actually brings. Security implications. People don't know that you're actually putting your kids at risk the more you expose them on social media. So I saw this article the other day, I think it was a video actually, and it talked about the precautions that we could put in place to make sure that our kids are not exposed to these insecurities. One of them is removing the geotag on your pictures when you put up pictures on Instagram, Facebook, or even Twitter.
People don't
That
know.
location
don't
tag.
know that.
You put your location, and I'm like, I always go deliberately to
make sure.
location. Like, I don't think I've ever made any tweet or post on social media showing my location. If I have, it's probably maybe during an event at the office. But the moment, and my location is always off. If my phone should get lost today, it's gone because I can't trace the location.
One
It's
other
that
thing you
bad.
want to do as well, never take pictures of them in their uniform
Yes.
because you're just simply telling people this is the
our
school they go
Go get
to.
her.
Yeah.
This
You
is the
know.
school.
Very
Don't
important.
don't put up pictures of them in front of your house and
Of
other
course.
things like
Yeah.
that. Perhaps
Very
maybe not even your car number.
Yeah.
So there, you know, there's a lot of space between the house and the school, especially if they're using the school bus.
Yes.
Let's take extra care, everyone, just extra care with what we post. And at this point, hopefully we've not freaked you out too much, but maybe just enough.
Just enough.
I hope the children are watching because that's the aim.
Yeah, we need to take a quick break now, but we'll be back with birthday shout-outs after this.
Bias. We all have biases. Black people have biases. White people have biases. Women, men. Our biases come from our experiences and our environment. It means, I think that the shortcut on bias is, how do you see? How do you see and what do you see? And what you see, no matter how many books you read, is determined by your range of eyesight. The books you have read, where you have lived, who you know, what your parents taught you. The people who have offended you, even the concept of oppression by other people, the perspective depends on who oppressed you. You know, you're likely to see all women in a certain way if repeatedly the women in your life have treated you in a certain way. You're likely to see all men in a certain way if repeatedly the men in your life treated you in a certain way. And if all the women or all the men in your life have been treated in such ways, you're likely to be very doubtful when you meet a person who is different. That's a bias. If you've always hired a particular type of team member, you're likely to feel like all staff are like that. That's a bias. And I don't think that I don't think many people pretend they don't have bias. I think it's a waste of energy. I mean, the reason why we have juries in courts is because of the understanding about bias. You know, the reason why we have appeal courts is about the understanding of error. So this is the thing to note. I was talking to my team members about unconscious bias when hiring. The first step to making better decisions that are not colored by bias is to acknowledge the bias. The people who pretend to be objective are the ones who often make the most biased decisions. Because think about it. If you have a bias and you pretend that you don't have a bias, they are not going to put the boundaries in place to stop your bias from affecting your decisions. But if you agree that you have a bias, then you are more likely to do the hard work of asking people questions. Am I right? Am I wrong? You are more likely to go and find evidence to counter your opinion. And thus, you are more likely to make better, more resilient decisions. This is what the research about bias says. It's a waste of time to pretend that we will come to a place where we never have any bias. More productive is to find your bias, name it, and create the systems to reduce its effects on your decisions and your life.
Now it's time for the second hour of the most anticipated breakfast show on Nigerian TV. This is Wake Up Nigeria. And if you missed the first hour, don't fret. We have another 1 hour, 45 minutes of premium family entertainment to go.
Alrighty, so happiness, they say, is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. So do something that makes you happy today.
Aww.
The magic is in believing in yourself. If you can make it happen, then hey, you can make almost anything. In fact, anything happen.
Very, very true. And you are in charge of your own happiness. That's something a lot of people need to learn. They've not figured it out yet. They try and look at other people and what makes other people happy and try and relate it to themselves. It's not going to happen. No. So when life gives you a tough time, just dip it in some glitter and let's see if you can have a better perception of the situation of things. Yeah?
Now, remember, as we move around, let's observe the necessary hygiene standards. Wash your hands, use an alcohol-based sanitizer or hand sanitizer.
Yes.
Wear your face mask not under your chin, wear it properly in public places, and maintain a healthy lifestyle. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Stream this show live if you need to move around. tvcentertainment.tv is the website, and of course, Facebook at TVC Connect.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment TV on YouTube, for more of our videos. And I couldn't get enough of yesterday's one. If there is 1 million views, I'm responsible for 999,000.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Enjoy it. Bask in it.
It was beautiful.
We also have something special that comes up on Fridays. On Fridays at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. You can catch us on Instagram. Now, this is something really fresh for us. It's about a month or two old now. And it gives you the chance to actually interact with us directly. So you can talk to us, interact with the guests we're interviewing as well. So it's always really, really fun.
And of course, we are not alone. We have Chef Blessing, a lady golfer in the house. She's in the kitchen, and it looks like it's going to be a very steamy time in the kitchen.
We need to check that name though, because Chef Blessing mentioned that the stockfish she was soaking, it wasn't quite ready.
Oh.
So we decided to call on our friends at Nuts About Cakes. Nuts About Cakes provided the cake that we had on our anniversary.
Okay.
And we said we needed to learn a thing or two about how they put that together.
Fantastic. We'll enjoy that one then.
Yes, sir. And this is Chef John. So he's here today taking up the position of Baker John, helping to put together a birthday cake for my mom, which is fine.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Fantastic. I can't wait to see what you want to put together with all of this. I feel like I'm in a butcher's shop, but it's all right. Okay, so we'll be back soon to show you how to design or decorate your cakes.
Okay, beautiful. And they're professionals, they know exactly what to do, so we'll be learning from them today.
Looking forward.
Dr. Lanre Olainton is an emergency medicine, or rather medical doctor, based in Manchester. He has a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery from the University of Bristol. And he will be talking about erectile dysfunction. Now, that's one the gentlemen might want to stay tuned to listen to. The statistics apparently are shocking.
Really? Well, I wouldn't know about that.
Of course you wouldn't.
Adesumbo Adeoye is a multi-passionate entrepreneur. She is the CEO and Chief Director at ESOB Events and founder of ESOB Heroes. She recently authored and published a self-guide book titled Parenting a Creative Child, and she'll be shedding more light on that on parenting here today.
And finally, we have multi-talented Nigerian actor, movie producer, and MC, someone well known for his comic and action-packed roles in movies. Tobiloba Abraham.
Alrighty then. So, guys, let's get to the news real quick. I think we have Ibrahim on standby, so he's going to be taking the news. So let's give that a listen. We'll be back.
All right, thank you very much, Mazzino. Now straight to the news. The number of COVID-19 cases recorded across the globe, the country, seems to be on a decline. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 288 new cases of coronavirus overnight, a figure quite lower than the 304 new cases recorded on Monday. The country's total number of cases now stands at 44,129. Of the new cases, Lagos recorded the highest figure with 88, followed by Kwara with 33. Other states with high numbers include Osun with 27 and Enugu 25. So far, 20,663 people have been discharged, while 896 people have died from COVID-19 related complications. And as schools prepare to resume, Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has expressed concerns that this could cause a rise in cases. Meanwhile, Minister of State for Education says result of COVID-19 test would not be a basis for admission into schools. He urged teachers to actively engage the students so as to ensure success in the forthcoming examinations.
We didn't demand testing because we are aware that the results show that your positive test is only as good as tomorrow. So the important thing is with the regime that we've imposed in the schools, hand washing, early detection, mask wearing, making sure everybody's clean, making sure everywhere is distanced, all of the protocols that have been asked to establish. We've established all of them, and we're going to be evaluating them rapidly and be able to be present and be able to react as soon as we can, and making sure that everybody is on their toes. That's why we're almost monitoring them on a rapid basis.
Meanwhile, the Ogun State government has cancelled all forms of payment for COVID-19 tests for students returning for exit classes in boarding schools. In a statement, Governor Dapo Abiodun says the test is now free and no longer mandatory for reopening of schools due to the limited testing capacity. He noted that a refund will be made for those who have paid, and government will provide face masks to all students in private and public schools. The governor also revealed that the admittance of students into private boarding schools will be at the discretion of the management and parents, though they recommended that it is preferable for students to attend classes from home, especially those with underlying health conditions. Some lawmakers have alleged that the Interim Management Committee pays about 51.8 million naira monthly as allowance to the acting managing director, Keme Bradikumo Punde, while other members are paid 18 million naira also on a monthly basis. They also revealed that the IMC pays heavily to defend media attacks against the Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, to the tune of 39.4 million naira. The Senate had earlier adopted the recommendations from the recent probe by its ad hoc committee, directing the IMC to refund all extra budgetary expenditure to the NDDC's account, and also called for the dissolution of the IMC. And former governors of Abia and Delta states, Orji Uzokalu and Emmanuel Duahan, have denied having any link with contracts awarded by the Niger Delta Development Commission. In a statement, Mr. Kalu, who is now the chief whip of the Senate, says he only facilitated road projects as his intervention effort for some communities in Abia State after they requested him to do so. Mr. Duahan, on the other hand, described the claim as false, ridiculous and mischievous, saying he never approached the agency for any project. The reactions come after a letter sent to the House of Representatives by the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, allegedly linked them to contracts awarded by the NDDC in 2018. Most of them were road projects valued at more than 500 million naira.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, whatever part of the world you're actually watching us from. You're welcome to the most important aspect of Wake Up Nigeria, which is the fitness segment. The body was actually made to move, not Hey, my name is Anna Abraham, also known as
Welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Chef John is right here. And guess what we're doing today? We've been having meals for days. So it's time for us to do something different, something that has to do with desserts. And today we will be decorating a birthday cake. See what I said earlier? Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
We've been making use of white cream.
No wonder Titi was coming closer. She loves stuff like this.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this?
This is chocolate marble.
Okay.
And we'll be incorporating chocolate and red velvet cake.
The only thing I've been hearing since is chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. That word always goes on replay in my head. Then we're making use of sprinkles, right?
Yes.
What is this?
This is glitter.
Glitter.
Yeah.
Oh, glitter. Okay, okay. So why do we have this?
We used to inscribe message on the cake. When we are done with
So this is that cheat code you guys use.
Yeah.
I've actually always wondered how, you know, the writing is done so well, and you're not making use of a pen or anything, but you guys still get it right. But this is good stuff. This is good stuff. This is something you can make yourself with this, right?
Yes.
At home. Perhaps if we have time, we'll show how to make that. So let's get started. What's the first thing we're doing?
The first thing we're doing, we're going to sandwich the cake
Okay.
with the white cream.
Okay.
And I'll place the red velvet on it.
On it.
Then
Okay.
we're good to go.
Okay, so let's get started.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's get started. So tell me about nuts, about cakes. What makes you guys so special?
Well, not about cakes. What makes us exceptional and make us special is that we have good customer service.
Okay.
We are customer minded. That we specialize on cakes, pastries, bread. So
We had your cake for Wake Up Nigeria's 3rd anniversary recently. That was just last month. And everybody literally went nuts about your cakes. Wow. Like, it was really good stuff, really good stuff. So if I was to place an order, for example, how do I go about that?
The cake was simply built on an inspiration that is coming from TVC.
Okay.
So once we get the idea about the cake,
Yeah.
we are good to go creating. You have to
Whatever
sketch whatever our customer in need of.
Okay.
But because of the event, so we have to make something wow.
Okay,
For
okay. So
TVC.
sketching first. So we're ready to put the red velvet now.
Yeah.
Oh wow, how did you achieve these lines?
He's from the rack.
Oh, and you see, it's another way of designing the cake naturally. This looks really nice. I like the look on it. Okay, so now we have this done. What happens next?
What happens next is we are going to look at the size of the cake. Okay. If the cake is not balanced, I'm going to use the sandwich knife to trim my cake so I can have the cake even.
Okay.
So
What's the need for having the cake even? What does it do? You can go ahead.
I need to have my cake even because I don't want to waste my cream.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's the
not
need.
Making it even causes waste when it
Causes
comes to
waste,
cream.
yes.
Okay. All
So
right.
now I've set my knife. I can see that the cakes are not even.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to cut it so that I can get the size of the cake
Perfectly, right?
perfectly. Yeah.
This is a technique that I'm sure takes a lot of skill just to get it right.
Yeah.
Because it can actually affect the eventual look of the cake.
Of the cake.
Aha. So are you going to be trimming the top as well, or just
I'm not trimming the
bottom?
top. The top is balanced.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So do you like it the way it is now?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay. So it's even now.
Yeah, it's even now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's to take out all of
Take out the excesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, for incidences where you have this, you can always use your cream to do the filling, right?
Yes.
Just to make it completely even.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then.
Okay.
So what happens next?
What happens next is that we are going to crumb coat the body.
Crumb coat the body.
Yeah.
How do you crumb coat?
I'm going to add the cream on the
Okay,
body.
go ahead. I think we're just about done with that.
Okay.
So we crumb coat the body.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
I'm crumb coating the body of the cake.
Okay.
Because I don't want crumbs in my cream.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want my cream messed up, so I'll be crumb coating.
So that's the meaning of crumb coating.
Yeah.
Avoiding crumbs in your cream.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay, so I feel like this crumb coating might take a while. So while John is busy trying to crumb coat, we'll need to move on to a very interesting conversation. I believe Mike has this covered for us.
It's time for health. Of course, this morning we have Dr. Lanrio Lighton, who is an emergency medicine doctor, medical doctor based in Manchester. He has a Bachelor of Medicine and a Bachelor of Surgery from the University of Bristol. He also holds a Bachelor of Science in Pharmacology. Now, Dr. Lanrio is also the co-founder of the venture capital-backed medical technology startup MedCircuit. And today we're talking about ED, erectile dysfunction, a challenge most men face around the world but are too ashamed to talk about. Hello, doctor. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so we're talking erectile dysfunction today. Let's start from a definition. What exactly is erectile dysfunction?
So erectile dysfunction, it means the inability to actually get or maintain an erection for a period of time to allow intercourse. That's what it actually means.
Okay, let's talk some numbers now. What are do you have any numbers about how this affects men around the world?
So erectile dysfunction is the most common sex problem that affects men in the world. So the most common, very difficult to give a concrete number on how common it is, because most men who have it actually don't seek help because of embarrassments. So it's something that actually, it's very, very common, very, very high. They estimate about 70% of men at some point in their life will have erectile dysfunction, but it's very hard to actually narrow it down to say, actually, this is the exact number, but we know it's very, very common, and men don't seek help enough for it.
Okay, so let's talk causes. What are the most common causes of ED?
That's a very, very good question. There are different causes for it. There's physical causes, there's psychological causes. Most causes is about physical. So things such as diabetes, high blood pressure, can cause it. Drugs can cause it. Alcohol can cause it. Smoking as well can cause it. Then when you go into the psychological aspect of it, then, you know, stress, anxiety can cause it. Depression can cause it as well. So there's a very broad range of things that can actually cause erectile dysfunction for a man.
Okay, now before we talk about curative ways you can cure it, let's talk about being proactively prevent it. Is there any way men can proactively prevent erectile dysfunction?
Yes, absolutely, and I think that's a very important topic as well. The main way men can actually try to prevent erectile dysfunction is by being very active. So being active in your daily life, exercising, eating well, avoiding certain things like smoking, avoiding excess alcohol, and seeing your doctor regularly to make sure you don't have any underlying conditions. So most men, when they have erectile dysfunction, it's normally cardiovascular, so it's normally heart disease that normally causes it. But men don't actually realize that's the cause until they get to the stage where they have erectile dysfunction. So keeping on top of your health, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, not eating too many sweets will actually help as well, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but that's actually the case.
Okay, now talking about sweets, I know that alcohol, beer, as the case may be, how does it affect? Because I know that talk around is that it can really affect. You know, people talk about sugar and about sweet stuff, but probably there's some bitter stuff that have even more sugar than the sweet stuff. Is that so?
Yes, I mean that is so. Is the composition of what you're eating actually. So if you're eating, you know, bitter foods, but they have a lot of fat, a lot of cholesterol in them, that can actually cause erectile dysfunction as well. Sugar is a very obvious cause. Sugar causes erectile dysfunction because it gives you a high chance of diabetes. Okay, so if you're having lots of sugar, you might have diabetes in the future, and that's one of the biggest causes of erectile dysfunction in the future for men. So it's something that actually is a two-edged sword. So where, you know, bitter things, if it has fat and has cholesterol in it, can cause erectile dysfunction, and if it has sugar as well, can cause it. So it's about moderation. So you could just do things in moderation would be the best way to manage it.
Okay.
Prevent yourself from getting it.
All right, so let's talk about curative measures and all of that. After the case has been, you know, established and all of that, how can men go about curing it? Like you said, a number of men don't like talking about it. It's, you know, how can men go about curing it?
I mean, first of all, before thinking about curing it, I think the first thing to consider is actually making sure people are aware that actually it's not a stigmatized condition and that is very, very common. So if you have erectile dysfunction, don't be afraid to seek help from your doctor or from your GP. That's the most important thing. Then once you seek help, actually, then we can look at curing it. The first thing people use is actually, the first medical treatment people use is actually Viagra. And that actually, you know, helps you to be able to perform as such. But before getting to that stage, what should actually happen is that you should get a workup from your doctor to actually realize what's your actual cause. So your blood pressure should be checked, your blood sugar should be checked, and those things need to be treated. If those things are treated, then you're very likely to be treated to be permanently cured of having erectile dysfunction in the future once you've been treated of those conditions. But if that doesn't work, then, you know, medication can help. Viagra can work. And also there's something called a vacuum pump as well, which some men use, and it helps them as well.
Okay, so you are advocating it's more about treatment and managing it, or something. There's no, you cannot generally say something is curative and all of that about it, right?
Yeah, so you have to cure the underlying symptoms. So if it's, you have to find the cause of it in yourself. So if it's high blood pressure, you have to treat that. If it's cholesterol, you have to treat that. If it's heart condition, you have to treat that. So once you treat that, then you have a good chance of cure. But the point is that you will still be able to perform as such, and, you know, have a healthy sex life, even if you have erectile dysfunction, as long as you see someone about it and they can actually manage the condition for you.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. It was quite enlightening talking to you about this, and looking forward to our continuing our further discussions this month on health with you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
All right, that's it on health. We'll take a break now. Don't go nowhere. There's still more to come on the show.
All right, so welcome back to the kitchen. As it is, we've been super busy. Chef John has been trying to put this together. I had to put some stuff aside there. Okay, so now we've covered the cake. What next?
I'm going to comb the top. I'm going to have the smooth surface.
Okay.
So that I can make sure the cake is in perfect condition.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what I'm doing now.
So that's the purpose of this particular tool,
yes,
to smoothen it out. Is it just the surface or the sides as well?
I can use it for the side. I decided to use it for the top. I use the smoother for the side.
Okay.
So I'm using the comb for the top.
Okay.
This is the design I choose for the top.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this determines the design for the cake.
Yeah.
I see there are different teeth, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see how this one goes. Now, if I wanted to learn how to bake cakes, is this part of services that you guys offer? Or you just prefer just making the cakes for people's pleasure? Go learn it at school.
We also train.
Okay.
We train at number 33 for Los Shibos, Lekki Phase 1.
Okay.
That's where we are located.
Okay.
So in case you needed formal training on how to bake cake, how to decorate, you can simply come to Not About Cakes at 33 for Lao Sibo. 33 for Lao Sibo, Lekki Phase 1. That's where we are located.
So what are we going to do next with the cake?
I still want to balance the surface. I'm not satisfied with the edge.
So you have to keep doing that till you get exactly what you want.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Now this is all we are going to make use of to design the cake, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We will not finish the cream.
You're not even going to finish the cream?
Yeah, I'm not going to finish the cream.
Okay. Because I thought we were like really going to load it up so everyone who gets a bite gets a mouthful of cream. Because I was like, all this cream.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Now, if I was to order a cake like this, how much should I have budgeted?
Wow. You should be planning, you plan your pocket.
Okay.
So, I know the red velvet and the chocolate will cost you cheap.
Cheap?
No, it's not expensive. We are affordable.
Very affordable.
Very affordable.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. All right. I noticed you had nuts or something like that in the chocolate cake. Or was it my imagination?
Yeah.
There are?
Yeah.
Wow. Is that the idea of nuts about cakes? Like you guys put a lot of nuts in your cakes? Just asking.
The nuts simply means
go crazy over
our cake.
Because I know some people don't like nuts. So when they hear this, it's a good thing to allay their fears that it's not just nuts in your cakes. You can actually have it made the way the person wants. So after this, what do we do next?
What we do next, we are going to fix the chocolate on the body of the cake.
Okay, this marbles, right?
Yes, the chocolate marble on the body of the cake.
Okay.
So we can simply get...
Okay. Let's see you do that. Oh, okay. You're still dealing with the body? Okay.
I need to remove the excesses on the body.
Okay.
So, now, I'm good to
Have you
go.
putting cream on the body? Or
No,
it's fine?
I'm done.
Okay, so let's see.
Now I'll be adding the chocolates.
Okay.
This is chocolate marble.
Okay.
Simply made from raw chocolate, dark chocolate, and the white chocolate.
Okay.
So,
one of these days, you probably make chocolate marbles for me. I saw it made on social media once, where it's more or less like frozen chocolate and cream. This is used to design, and you now cut it up into pieces.
So the inspiration behind this cake is to make something like a spike, something going over and over.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing now.
Okay. So it will be like a spike design. Let's see that. Okay, so let's turn it around so everybody can get the idea of what we are up to.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, fantastic. So this is what we're going to do round and round and round the cake. Do you understand? Let me show you. See? So this is it. Okay, so we will continue with our work here. In the meantime, more conversation. I know Mazino is on standby right now.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, guys. So, Adesumba Adeoye is a multi-passionate entrepreneur. She is the CEO and Chief Director at ESOP Events and founder of ESOP Heroes. Sumba is a mentor to many and a recipient of numerous awards for her dedication and also contribution towards progressive initiatives and humanity in Nigeria. Recently, she authored and published a self-guide book titled Parenting a Creative Child, and she'll be shedding more light on that, on parenting here today. We have with us Adesumba. Hello, Adesumba. Can you hear me? Good morning.
Yes, I can hear you, Mazino. Good morning.
Fantastic. Good to have you on the show today.
It seems good to be here with you.
Let's start by, first of all, identifying who a gifted child is.
Okay. A gifted child can also be called a creative child. These are, every child, I believe, is created with a gifting. I believe every child that is created by God is given talents embedded in them. So a gifted child is that child that is innovative, artistic, a child that thinks outside of the box, a child that is creative, a child that is original. And I feel that every child created by God has this in them.
Okay. Is this any different from a regular child, for instance?
what you call a regular child is what you make of your child. You know, parenting is an activity that gives you the privilege to be able to nurture a child, to bring a child up. You have to be there for them physically, socially, intellectually, you know, you guide them. So when a child turns out to be regular, it simply means the child has been nurtured to be regular. You see, every child has the capacity to be a genius. There is a juice of genius in them that the world, the earth, and its citizens need. And until you nurture that child in that way, you may not be able to get the desired results. You know, I see a lot of parents who they don't know how to go about parenting. But my book, Parenting a Creative Child, helps you. It's like a self-help guide that helps you parent them purposefully. It uncovers the principles to discover the genius in them. It uncovers the principle that you can use to develop this genius in them, and of course, make it valuable so that the world can benefit from it.
Okay, so let's talk about this book. And I heard you say a few things there. First off, it would seem that you say the responsibility to help a child nurture this creativity in children lies with the parents, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Now, how can parents then identify these little creative aspects or talents in their kids? What do they look out for? Does your book tell about that?
Yes, it does. There's a part where I titled one of the chapters that says that you should believe, pray, and walk. Another chapter says experiment to discover. You know, there's this saying that says that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. But for a child, an idle mind is not necessarily the devil's workshop. And for that child, that time is to innovate. You know, they think, they are imaginative. And it is that idle time they use to experiment. You know, as a parent, I know that when the house is quiet, suddenly you are sure that your children they're up to something.
Yeah,
you know, and most parents are usually scared. But I don't want them to scared. I want them to just be patient enough to discover what takes the attention of their children. You see, some children take tools and they start uncovering it. Some parent may look at that child and say the child is destructive, but the book helps you to look at the creative side of the child. Parenting a Creative Child has so many chapters in it that would help parents who have such children, would help them. I also want to recommend that you learn to listen to your child. You know, because God gave you to them as gifts, and so you are saddled, like I said, with the responsibility to train this child from infancy to adulthood. So at the beginning of their life, they can't make major decisions, you know, by themselves. So it is the parents that makes these decisions for them. So you must listen to them. The fact that they are children doesn't mean that their visions, their dreams and desires are not valid. So listen to them, even if you feel that, oh, this child is not reading the book. In Africa, we've been programmed to only read a book, pass exams, you know, go to university and all of it. But there's so much in a child that can do far more. Now, I'm not saying that. Yes, please.
I was going to ask you, before you go too far on that one, now you said something, you talked about books. I have a method, and I believe that play is a very important part of a child's upbringing, a child's nurturing a child, and also the talents. What's the role of play in bringing up a child?
Wow, the role of play is very, very vital. It develops their creative juice. It develops their social juice. It develops so much in them. You know, when children play, they play with colorful things. They play with tools. In fact, from the age of 3 months, you start having babies trying to grab their hands on colorful things. You find parents buy rattles for their babies, colorful toys, and I just feel that is when development starts. They start to hold on to something, they start to grip something, and when they grow into toddlerhood, they start to use what they have learned over time to build. You start seeing them building blocks and all of that, and when they now grow again, you see them want to try to create something out of play. And I feel every parent should allow playtime, because that is where their creative juice and social juice develop.
Real quick, Adesumba, if you don't mind, I've noticed that kids nowadays are much more expressive than they used to be back in the day. Real quick, can you tell us what might be responsible for that in present times? Real quick, because we're almost out of time.
Okay, I feel that most kids in these days are more expressive because we, the generation of myself and a whole lot of other parents out there, are starting to allow their parents express themselves. And then in schools, they are taught to express themselves. Back in the days, we were not given that much privilege. Our parents allowed us to talk, but then we have to speak morally. You have to be disciplined to an extent. But these days, kids are free. They are free to express themselves. They are free to even say the dumbest things. That is why, as a parent, we must understand our role to help them nurture that assertiveness in the right way, so that they don't stumble. Thank you so much, Mazino.
Thank you very much, Adisumba. I wish we could go on. There's plenty I can tell that you want to tell, especially about this book. But I'm sure that we're going to have you back again on the show to talk more about this. Thank you very much, and we look forward to having you back on the show.
It is
viewers
my
out
delight.
there, do stay tuned. We got more coming your way. I'm looking forward to that beautiful cake over there.
Yeah.
And you're welcome back to the third hour. Somewhere in between there and now, I discovered that Titi cannot take a compliment.
Wow,
she's
really?
all red under there.
I'm human. I'm human. Thank you very much.
It's the third hour on Wake Up Nigeria. We've had an amazing 2 hours gone by so far, and everything's really exciting here. And it continues on into the third hour here. We have exactly 45 minutes to go, waiting for that cake.
Yes,
and
indeed.
every second is going to be a special one.
It's the last block of the show, and as you know, our tradition is always to outdo ourselves, always setting the benchmark. And speaking of benchmarks, I didn't say that this is a really good look on you.
Stop trying to throw it back. I can handle a compliment.
No, I should have mentioned it.
Right.
Yes, I'm used to seeing you in the leather jackets, not suits. So
leather is good.
Nice look. Please, no leather jackets here, please.
Well, you definitely don't want to miss anything, so stay with us till the very end. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Stream this show live if you need to move around, tvcentertainment.tv, and of course on Facebook at TVC Connect.
All right.
We're here for you. We're here for you.
Comments and all. I love them. So just remember to use the hashtag when you're doing all of that. Wake Up Nigeria. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv on YouTube. And that's for more of our videos.
Yeah, of course. Speaking of comments, a lot of comments, people have been sliding into this one's DM.
Good and bad comments, by the way.
Please, just be careful. Take it slow, guys. Take it slow.
I'm not blind to both sides. It's okay. I like criticism. It's all right.
We have something special coming up on Fridays these days, 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. We have a little something extra. Wake Up Nigeria Extra on Instagram Live.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so what you got planned for the rest of today after?
That cake, I must definitely taste that cake. That's first of all. And well, we're going to be talking to the chef about how he came about that beautiful cake. Is that chocolate marble I'm seeing?
I think,
goodness me, chocolate marble. All
right, so we have Tobiloba Ibrahim coming up.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking with him, I think somewhere inside of this hour. So do stay tuned. It's going to be very, very interesting. And we're looking forward to your comments as well. And all of that. Okie dokie. So we're going to leave Mike out again.
No!
I don't want to do this to Mike.
Leaving Mike out. Okay, so I was actually going to talk about what Mike discussed, but then I thought twice because the topic, you know, was a very sensitive one. So I thought, let's go with parenting.
So all of you just acted when discussion, everybody just like this.
No, but you can't blame us now.
Everybody, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody looking away.
Most people were listening.
No, they're listening now, so they're like...
They weren't listening.
While Mike was having that interview, the ladies were huddled up in one.
Calm down. You don't need to.
We were having a very interesting conversation.
Off his mic. Honorable.
Oh, Mike. So you wanted to hear that one.
You know, some discussions should be had generally.
Yeah.
I think even in the home, talking about kids and all of that, sometimes the things you don't want to talk about are the things that we should talk about the most.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about personal experience and all of that. The things you might not really want to talk about, the things you should speak about the most. So generally,
And sadly, most times the children learn it from where they shouldn't learn it.
Very
And
true.
So the person might even offer them experiments they shouldn't be having. And then it gets out of hand. Yeah, because children are very inquisitive. We cannot deny them that. It's one of the toughest discussions, though, to have with your children. Like, I'm sure my dad sometimes still looks at me like, is, you know, that little girl, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a little girl.
You'll still be that little girl.
I'm a little girl.
Now
And
we have to.
that's why African father, the discussion, just before the discussion with African parents, when we tell you I love you, respond back, don't say thank you. Or just,
Are you sure it's me you're talking to? I'm not your mom.
all right.
We have to wrap this up at this point. Ibrahim has been standing by for us to wrap up this conversation. Ibrahim, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Titi. The number of COVID-19 cases recorded across the country seems to be on the decline. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 288 new cases of coronavirus overnight, a figure quite lower than the 304 cases recorded on Monday. The country's total number of cases now stands at 44,129. Of the new cases, Lagos recorded the highest figure with 88, followed by Kwara, 33 new cases. Other states with high numbers include Osun, 27, and Enugu, 25. So far, 20,663 people have been discharged, while 896 people have died from COVID-19 related complications. And as schools resume, Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has expressed concerns that these could cause a rise in COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, Minister of State for Education says results of COVID-19 tests will not be a basis for admission into schools. He urged teachers to actively engage the students so as to ensure success in the forthcoming examinations.
We didn't demand testing because we are aware that the results show that your positive test is only as good as tomorrow. So the important thing is with the regime that we've imposed in the schools, hand washing, early detection, mask wearing, making sure everybody's clean, making sure everywhere is distanced, all of the protocols that have been asked to establish. We've established all of them, and we're going to be evaluating them rapidly and be able to be present and be able to react as soon as we can, and making sure that everybody is on their toes. That's why we're almost monitoring them on a rapid basis.
Meanwhile, the Ogun State government has cancelled all forms of payment for COVID-19 tests for students resuming for exit classes in boarding schools. In a statement, Governor Dapo Abiodun says the test is now free and no longer mandatory for reopening of schools due to the limited testing capacity. He noted that a refund would be made for those who have paid, and the government will provide face masks to all students in private and public schools. The governor also revealed that the admittance of students into private boarding schools will be at the discretion of the management and parents, though he recommended that it is preferable for students to attend classes from home, especially those with underlying health conditions. Meanwhile, some lawmakers have alleged that the Interim Management Committee pays about 51.8 million naira monthly as allowance to the acting managing director, Keme Bradikumo Oponde, while other members receive 18 million naira also on a monthly basis. They also revealed that the IMC pays heavily to defend media attacks against the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, to the tune of 39.4 million naira. The Senate had earlier adopted the recommendations from the recent probe by its ad hoc committee, directing the IMC to refund all extra budgetary expenditure to the NDC's account, and also called for the dissolution of the IMC. And that's the harsh reality of COVID-19 has forced many companies in Nigeria into retrenchment, with many businesses closing due to the inability to meet up with staff salaries. Airpeace has laid off 70 of its pilots across its fleet and reduced staff salaries by 40%. While an agreement was reached and accepted by the pilots, they have accused the company of trying to sack staff through illegal processes. The pilots had protested a major pay cut after negotiation fell through with the management. But Airpeace CEO Alain Oyema says a series of emails were sent to the pilots on this decision. He explained that the company has had lesser flight operations as a result of the pandemic and says he expected the pilots to understand the situation. And that's the news today on Wake Up Nigeria Sports.
If I hadn't stopped him, this cake would have been ready. Like, John just literally just keeps going and going and going. As you can see, our cake is almost ready. It looks ready, right? No, it isn't yet because we still haven't inscribed happy birthday. And we still need to show you how we achieved this. We already showed you how to do the sides, huh?
Yeah.
So it's time for us to show them how we came up with this. So in there, we have 2 colors. How did we come about the 2 colors? I see pink and cream.
I have to put beside the cake a pink icing.
Okay.
Also by the other side, a pink icing. As you can see, pink, then white in between.
Oh, it's white actually.
Yeah.
Looks cream to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
what I'm going to do is to move my hand round.
Nice.
So
yes, and that's how we came up with this. So you do it little, then you just keep advancing it till you get to this point. Then
regarding the chocolate,
okay,
it's actually the same size of chocolate marble beside it.
Okay.
I'm going to divide it into two
equal halves.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, but it has to be larger than the previous one, just to go ahead. Okay. So I think that is larger.
I have to be careful with these.
They're usually very fragile, I know.
They're fragile.
Okay.
So this.
And then you complete the design of the cake just like that. That's not all though. We still have to put the sprinkles. We need to put the happy birthday inscription. Which one are we doing first? The happy birthday.
Let me have the sprinkles first.
The sprinkles first, okay.
The sprinkles first.
So, where are we putting the sprinkles?
The sprinkles on the...
Okay, the roses.
On the hyacinths.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I always thought sprinkles was for children's birthdays and stuff. But I found out that so many adults actually like sprinkles on their cake.
Yeah.
Find it really nice and colorful. And it's a good way to... You know, sometimes we try to save money. You want to buy an iced cake. It's also a good way to decorate the top of your cake. It will still give it a very nice look. Okay, so next, the inscription.
So the inscription.
Happy birthday to mommy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we writing?
I'll be writing happy birthday, mom.
Aww.
This kind of cake actually be for children.
Okay.
Because of
so it doesn't really matter what age. Okay, so let's write.
You can simply walk into our store and get something like this.
Okay, okay. Yeah. All right, so let's write happy birthday to you. Yeah. This writing thing, is it a skill that is taught in, you know, in the school, the culinary school or catering school?
It's something you just have to develop yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You have to develop yourself.
Let's see you pull this off. Yeah. So if it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. We're celebrating here on your behalf, okay? This looks so exciting. So yes, we've conquered happy. Now we are moving to birthday. Nice. So if you've ever bought cakes from Nuts About Cakes and this kind of writing was on it, this is who did it, because I know every chef has their, and every baker, as a matter of fact, has their unique writing. So if this looks familiar, guess what? The baker is on TV right now. Yay! Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you fill that up. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Oh yes.
Now I'm inscribing it to mom.
Yeah.
So.
Aww. Yay. My mom doesn't eat cakes, sadly.
So.
But it's so sweet of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, mommy.
Mom.
Okay, so what about the glitters? I know there's there are glitters as well.
This is just to sparkle the face of the cake.
Okay.
So what I just do is just to press, then that's enough because of the chocolate. You don't have to put too much. So
wow, this is so nice.
What makes the difference.
And there you have it. Our cake is ready. Courtesy of the baker chef himself, John. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes. It's such a pleasure to have Nuts About Cakes in the studio with us. And we will head straight to social media now. I know Mike is on standby for that while his mouth waters for this cake.
No,
let's see what's happening on social media.
My mouth is not watering. Okay, so it's Tuesday. Now, by statistics, Tuesday has been said to be the most productive day of the week. Why so? Why is it the most productive now? It is said that, of course, by Monday, you're still trying to get into the hang of things and all of that. So Mondays, there's a hustle and the bustle and all of that. But by Tuesday, things tend to calm down and you get into the flow of things. I know, Titi, we had done a study about that and we read some things, not just around the world. It is said to be the most productive day. So today, I just decided to check out a trend, Tuesday vibe. So more or less inspirational. So let's see your... let's get your best inspirational Tuesday vibes that you want to drop there. Use social media. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. I'll check that hashtag, say in the next 3-4 minutes. If you want to post anything with something inspirational, I'll check it out. I'll use Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. That's the hashtag I would use. And we can get to read your tweets while we are live here, yeah? But let's see. While I try to get some the most inspiring Tuesday vibes that I can get here. Okay, this one says positive vibes today. Well, it's much closer to Friday today than it was yesterday. What? Like, that's positivity? Is that how you pick your positivity? Have a terrific Tuesday. Here's Woody getting stuck in. Okay, now this is a wonderful bird. A woodpecker? Is that a woodpecker?
Yeah, so woodpeckers are so hardworking.
Tuesday, basically.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that's his Tuesday.
Because it's closer. But seriously, don't like Fridays too much. It's cool to like them, but don't like them too much. Get to do something else. I don't know. Titi, you have any Tuesday vibes? While I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just take this one just before you go on. Titi says it takes 1 minute to make someone's day and 1 word to destroy someone's life. One word. I think it takes more than that, though. But hey, come on. It's all Tuesday vibes. It's all Tuesday vibes. It's all Tuesday vibes. Now this view is lovely. Love fasted cardio mornings before work. Fresh air to clear your head. Great way to start the day. These skies, where do you think, let's take a guess, Marcino, where do you think these skies are above? Because it depends on the area you are. These skies cannot just be above anywhere.
But come on, we do have great skies in Nigeria.
We do. We have very blue skies.
So I said where? It could have been anywhere in Nigeria. Why do you think I'm tackling Nigeria?
maybe a very hilly area. That looks like a very hilly
without
zone.
wires crisscrossing, you know, smoke, carbon monoxide.
So, but you know, without taking shots, you know, your sky is actually a reflection of the kind of gases you emit and pollution and all of that. So there's some kind of skies you can't see here because of the kind of pollution we emit.
Yeah,
true. So it's just really how it is. Skies are also a reflection of the way you live. So, you know, basically, but these are beautiful skies. And of course, we do have something, depends on the kind of area. We do have stuff like this in Nigeria. Of course, where there's afforestation, this is where nature is at its best. So it has to be somewhere natural. Is it like Lagos? You'd have to be, well, maybe beaches or somewhere. That's where you get stuff like that, okay? All right, so while I go through and still try to get some Tuesday vibes and all of that, any Tuesday vibes from you guys there?
Yeah, I have one here. It says, feel really good about you and you'll attract more circumstances and events that will make you feel good about you.
That's a good one.
So it starts with you, people. It starts with you. You have to start feeling good about yourself first before you expect other things to look good around you.
I've got one for you.
What?
This one's an inspirational quote I used last week. No man is your teacher. Rather, no man is your enemy, no man is your friend, every man is your teacher. So you're what you make of every experience you come by every single day, and especially on a Tuesday. So just use that one as you go about today.
Oh, Tuesday vibes, Tuesday vibes.
Okay. So, apart from all of those dropping birthday wishes, which we would give you a shout out tomorrow and Thursday, one person was able to just drop in. King Oladipupo says, "Jazz up, no, they lose focus. Concentrate on your life." Of course, I'm not going to say what that. No, I like that. He said, "Jazz up, right?" Of course, this is our birthday wishes, which we will give out tomorrow and next. That's all we can take on our social media segment this morning. We'll take this time out, and there's still a little bit more. One final interview to come on the show.
Welcome back. Finally, we have multi-talented Nigerian actor, movie producer, and MC. Someone known for his comic and action-packed roles in movies. The one and only Tobiloba Abraham. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Toby.
Good morning.
All right.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
All right. Well, we know you featured in roles in movies such as Voice, Seje, Falana, Asiwaju, Cupid, and so much more. And aside from acting, he's also a music artist as well, which we're going to talk about today. He's got numerous singles to his credit. Hey, Toby, do you still do the music, by the way?
Yeah, of course I do. I do music. I can't stop doing music. Yeah. Oh. After this, I'm even going to the studio to record 1 or 2 songs, and I'm always recording.
All right, great.
I find you a very energetic person. Like the energy you put into your skits, the things I see online, as in, I find it really, really interesting. Where does that energy come from?
Well, actually, let me say the energy comes from God, yeah? Normally, everybody would say energy comes from God. But naturally, I'm this kind of person that I love entertainment a lot, and anything that has to do with entertainment, I try as much as possible to put more energy in it. And I just want to go ginger and all, shake.
Yes, we get. So, something
it's
that
inbuilt.
We noticed.
It's inbuilt.
Yes, inbuilt indeed. We noticed something. You studied computer science back in school. So the road from computer science to being a producer, an actor, a singer. I'm wondering if you're still, if anything you do is still influenced by that academic study that you had, that you have in your background.
Well, actually, apart from the fact that I sent mails, received mails on my computer, I don't think I do anything related.
So it doesn't come into use.
But then who does all the edits for your skits? Who does the edits for your skits?
I've got my team. I've got guys around me. I've got what's it called? Content providers. I've got directors. I've got guys that we sit together. Most of those skits are actually from me. Yeah, they're my idea, and I just call my guys. Let's sit down together and just. Does this make sense? Can we do this? And you know, we decide on it and just okay, let's shoot, and we shoot and. Right there.
Beautiful,
All
beautiful,
right.
beautiful.
So let's talk about you being a young man in the movie industry. I've heard that it's not easy being in that industry. How do you manage with the investments that you have to make? How do you get the actors paid and all of that? How do you even get people to buy into your dream in the first place? Is it easy for a young person such as yourself to just say, tomorrow I'm going to be a producer? How easy is it?
Oh, okay. First and foremost, let me say this. There's nothing on this planet that is easy. Yeah, everything is just you just have to keep pushing. You just have to keep making people believe in you. You get being in the industry for me, it's not something that I started like yesterday. You get so it took me a whole lot of process. It took me a whole lot of hard working and plenty prayers. For people to say, okay, I think this guy knows what he's doing. I think if I'm working with this person, I think I am not working with the wrong person. You get? So it takes a whole lot of hard working. Okay. It takes a whole lot of you being consistent with what you're providing, what you're giving out to people, and it's just God's grace.
Is it profitable anyway? Are you making that kind of money that we are often led to think the people in the movie industry are making? Is it booming? Will you say you're struggling or you're okay or you've made it, I'm retiring next year? Which is it?
Retire next year. No.
So how's it for you?
No. I'm not retiring anytime soon, yeah? And I don't think I'm going to retire, you know. Even when I get older than this, like very old, I still want to like hold my walking stick and still be an actor, still be an entertainer, still sing songs and stuff.
But are you making
let
money?
me say,
Are you making the money?
Let me say, yeah, I'm making the money, not like the way I want it yet, but I believe it's still going to be like that very soon. I'm not quitting anytime soon. So,
do you think you have the right type of mentors in the industry for what you want to achieve? Who are those actors and performers that you look up to?
Yeah, I've got a whole lot of them, a lot of them, both from the English and the Yoruba sector of movie industry. I've got a whole lot of them, yeah. And there's this thing I believe, yeah. You don't have to be older than me to be my mentor. That's just it. As long as you're doing your thing, you're doing it the right way. I appreciate what you're doing, and I watch what you're doing a whole lot. You're my mentor directly. Because one way or the other, I'm going to steal from you. That's just the truth. I'm going to steal. I'm using the word steal. Yes, I'm using the word steal because not like I'm going to take your idea, but I'm going to learn one or two things from you. So that makes you my mentor automatically. So I've got a whole lot of them, a lot. I've got guys that are doing very fine that whenever I see them in movies, I'm like, no, I'm going to watch this movie. This guy is a fantastic actor. Let me see how he's going to kill his role here. You get? So I've got a whole lot of them, a lot.
I want to ask about how COVID-19 has been able to, adjust your mindset because, performers haven't had many events or any events for a long time. And it seems like lockdown is easing off. But how have you been able to manage?
It's not been easy, yeah. It hasn't been easy at all. I won't lie. But one way or the other, I'm going to say thank God for COVID-19 because for COVID-19, yes, I'm going to say that, yeah, because it came shocking to everybody, and for me, it made me realize that this whole thing might not be going forever. Like one day you just get into one corner that you might not be able to make that same money you're making every day. So the ones you have with you, you just need to learn how to spend wisely. One, you need to learn how to appreciate what you have too. You need to learn how to appreciate the life that you've got that so many people are praying for God to just give them. COVID has really shaped my thinking about life. And COVID has really made me see life in a different way. Do you get? And yeah, it hasn't been easy, like I said. Making money is what everybody wants to be doing. And when you have, like, for instance, you have like 100K and you're expecting 10 million to come in, and you go stock up with your 100K for months. Do you know what that means? You need to learn how to manage that 100K till further notice that you don't even know when it's going to end. So, and then
I have to say thank you so much to you for sharing with us and talking to us this morning.
Thank you.
I know you woke up really early to connect with us this morning.
We
Toby Lover.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to have you in the studio for real when eventually we open up our studios again. All right.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, it's been different for many different people, how they've been able to, manage during this COVID period. But I know that something makes it sweeter. Things like cake. If you know how to make your own, and you learned a thing or two from today's chef, you'll understand exactly why I say cake makes everything better. Let's head over to the kitchen at this point. All right.
That's it, Tony on your own, man.
Woo!
Okay, so just look at this cake. Why is it that anybody...
Look at his face. The expression on his face is just, even if you don't understand the language, you kind of connect with what he was trying to say.
Very funny. All right, guys, welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you.
As it is, Chef John Aboyade has been very busy at work from nuts about cakes, and we can go nuts over this cake.
We can.
Yeah, really. So while he cuts into it, gives us a slice of cake, tell us how you came about the decorations, because that's what we did on the show today, decorating a birthday cake.
It actually feels almost bad that you need to cut this cake.
But he has to cut it.
I know. I almost don't want you to spoil it.
So where do you want
Just
to
made it.
cut it from?
I'm cutting it from this side.
Okay.
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 Really, when...
maybe try and show it from that angle. Maybe if you move to the side a little so that they can see you cutting it. Yeah.
So I'm cutting it from this angle.
Wow.
So to cut it, you have to shift the marble to one side.
Look at that cake.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, the way the knife is going into
Are you
the
for ambulance? Wow, wow, wow.
What's wrong? What's wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Right into it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we're looking forward to. Okay, so maybe we can show the inside of the cake now.
So this is what it looks like.
Oh,
yeah. So that's the
Woo!
marble.
The marble.
By then, the owner of this cake should get this.
Exactly.
It's just as well.
Loving it.
There we go.
Well done.
Yeah.
Really, really. Nice. And this is real chocolate. Did you talk about the chocolate part?
Well, it's real chocolate. It's just the marble part. Someday he's going to come teach us how to make a chocolate marble. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, Mazino is.
I'll pass on the sugar today.
No.
Mazino,
Why?
You're talking about being hungry.
I want. As in,
you want food?
Yeah, but I was looking forward to you having it because you have been having pieces of it since we've been on set.
Wow, way to expose my secrets.
Go ahead.
But I really want to taste this. Okay, let's see if I can grab something here.
All right.
I hope I grabbed the right thing.
So we should be saying goodbye.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
And while I'm having a taste, a big shout out to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories and to everyone who tuned in today.
Thank you very much,
All right,
guys.
here it goes. I think you guys should wrap up.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching today. Tomorrow is another day. Be sure to join us from 6 a.m. bright and early on Wake Up Nigeria. Thank you.
I wish I could hug you.
And of course, yes, not about cakes. Thank you for this fantastic creation.
Thank you
very much.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.